My name is Eugene, and I welcome you to my channel, Satale. This is my first actual video. I'm a foreigner living here in Dumaguete City, Philippines, and I think it's a good start for the channel to explain how I got an 8 on IELTS here in Dumaguete, Philippines. Let's start. Well, I need to say that right from the beginning. English is my second language. I don't know if you can tell, but it's my second language. I've got a level of C1. Now it's conferred by IELTS. CEFR C1 of English. Yeah. So I've been learning for my entire life from like 3 years old when my mom found that English first international school. So I studied there for like 12 or 13 years. So I think that's the main thing. That's where I got the most of my experience, and that was way more important than the preparation itself. Yeah. Now let's get to the preparation itself. I found a review center here in Dumaguete City. It's called the ACE Review Center. I think it's international. And what can I say? I would rate it 3 out of 5, but the teachers were 5 out of 5. I'm gonna explain next why. So the preparation took about a month. Actually, no, it was more like month and a half. Yeah. And I took the group class. It was about 5,500 pesos. And there was an option to choose the individual review for 7,000. I had classmates, they were all Filipinos, and it was really unusual for them to see a foreigner trying to pass the IELTS test here in Dumaguete City. Yeah, I think that's really rare to happen. And also they all had the goal to go somewhere else, for example, to Canada, to Australia, to the US. And I was the only person aiming to stay here at the Philippines. Yeah. But nevertheless, we shared our homework, we worked together, it was pretty fun. And how did I prepare personally? You see, in the IELTS test, there are 4 parts: reading, speaking, writing, and listening. Yeah. So I had like a 3 week intensive training where every day I would personally accomplish one of those parts on my own, on my PC, or I took the textbook and practiced somewhere else with my phone, for example, on the beach. It was really nice atmosphere here. Yeah. So just one task a day, but constantly, every day. Plus, the review was like 3 times per week. And also, after I accomplished the program, there was a private tutorship on listening and the essays, the writing. It was about 2 times a week. Yeah, but you could get bonus times for no extra pay if you want. Yeah, just visit the review center. So overall, that took about a month and a half, as I said. Was it difficult? I'd say partly, yeah. And as they say, the preparation is always kind of more difficult than the exam itself. So I was preparing for general training, not the academic one. In general training, the writing part is easier. Actually, you get to write a letter to a friend or a semi-formal. This is way easier than a academic task, but still you've got the second essay, which is really large, and you have to match all those prompts for the essay. This is actually the most difficult part, the part 2 writing task. And then I want to tell you the part why do I rate this center 3 out of 5. That's because of really poor organization. Basically, it had really like um tiny crumbled classrooms. Also, they had a territory for the exam itself, like the audio room, the computer room, but that was not a problem. The problem was they moved my exam, even though I registered for. No, no, no. I registered for Sunday, so I prepared, I was ready for it, I got the email confirmation, I fill out the blank physically, but then they moved it to Saturday, the day before, without me knowing. And all of that happened on Friday. Yeah. So when I came there, there was a guy sitting there who I didn't know. He was just an accountant, not a teacher. And he said like, "Where have you been? Why you didn't come yesterday?" I was like, "What the fuck? Why should I?" And he said like, "You registered for Saturday. You missed your exam." So I was really mad after that. I thought that they literally fucked me over, and I thought that they were just taking away my money, like making me to pay twice to retake the exam. So I was really in a grim mood after that, and one week I didn't give a fuck about preparation at all. But then it all resolved as I emailed them and I explained everything. So they actually moved my exam to the next Saturday. Yeah. Next Saturday I came there. It was okay, but at the registration they had to take a photo with a small camera. You know, those like authorization procedures. And their camera ran out of battery just on me because the other people who other students who attended, they took the pictures of them, it was okay, but on me it ran out. Then they took the fingerprint scanner and my fingerprint wasn't recognized. I don't know why. I was just unlucky with that, but nevertheless, they allowed me to go through the exam. Then they scanned it again. It was okay, but the organization was really poor. Yeah, the exam itself was for 14,000, more than that, about 15,000 pesos. It's really expensive, but it's the international price. So I have an advice for you relating to that. If you're going to take the IELTS exam anyway, think about the certificate because the certificate lasts for 2 years, so it's profitable to do it the last time you will have enough time to prepare. Otherwise, for example, I was studying in the university for 3 years, and if I took that exam during my freshman course, it would be expired by now, the certificate. So I would have to take the exam twice and pay twice. So just don't do that. Do that only if you're going to apply for a job, looking for a job in general like me, or looking for a university that requires the IELTS. Now the exam itself, was it difficult? No, it wasn't difficult because I came prepared, even though 1 week I didn't really do anything. You know, the memory just doesn't evaporate in 1 week, I think, but it could be personal. I don't know. For me, it worked out, and I didn't get any difficult tasks, so I was really lucky with the tasks for general training. Reading was really easy with no difficult tasks. Listening, a couple questionable, but not really, not difficult. And the speaking part was the most surprising for me because I thought they are going to send an examiner who would sit with you in that soundproof room and evaluate your answers. I was preparing for that, but I got a Zoom call, and the examiner was, I think, Filipina. Yeah, I think somewhere from their network also in the Philippines, maybe Cebu or Manila. That was unexpected, so I was kind of confused, but it didn't actually worsen my score. I still got an 8. Also, on the IELTS test between the computer test, if you're taking that, I mean the first 3 parts: listening, writing, and reading. Yeah. After that, you get a break for about from 1 hour to 2 hours. It depends on the queue. After that, you pass the speaking, so during that time, you can go out and eat somewhere. And this is a really good opportunity. I recommend to go, just take a rest, use the bathroom, then have a supper, have a lunch, because this is important for your concentration. I think maybe that's why I got a better score. Yeah. So now I will show you my certificate. As you can see, the lowest score is for the essay because it was the hardest part. All the others are 8 or above. Yes, I'm really proud of that. And I didn't expect that, to be honest. I expected a 6.5 or 7, something like that, after I took the exam. But I was really lucky. And I wish you luck too in the IELTS exam, especially here in the Philippines. Organization problems are everywhere, but we have to overcome them. And I hope you will overcome them. Yeah, so good luck taking IELTS.